Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and we're going to do an upgrade today, just moving through an exploration that really helps us become more awake and aware and makes us so much more valuable, so much more worthwhile to the world because we've raised our level of consciousness. And so let's just take a look and dive right in here. And what we're really going to look at today is why people, on one hand, work so hard and so much to make their life better, while at the same time do so much to destroy it, do so much to injure it. And the same goes for why we work so much on ourselves while also doing so much to hurt ourselves, which is a real challenging paradox that humans are in. And when we can make a shift out of a paradox like that and really transcend that duality of, again, just doing so much, just working so much, doing so many things for so many people, doing it all to make yourself better and make life better, and then doing what feels like simultaneously just as much to injure yourself, or doing things, it might be not too much that you do, but the impact of it is super injurious to you, and then negates or really tips the scales as it does for so many people, where it's just like most of the time there's a bunch of suffering with a little bit of joy here or there, and it's just really a tough paradox. So yeah, why do humans do that? Why do we do that? Why do we do so much to improve ourselves and life itself, and then so much to injure it, so much to hurt ourselves and hurt our life? And one of the things that I can see is that there are, in human design, there are different aspects of our energy system. And one of them is that and this is our energy system, or our what's referred to as our nervous system, either way, just to understand it's an energy system. And we, in that system, we are both defined. We have areas that are very defined within that system and the way that it runs. And we have areas that are very open. And they are parts of our nervous/energy system that are more open. And they're the parts that are for taking in reality, and the other parts are for sending out reality. And everybody has some mixture of this. And so my sense is that our not self, our lower self, or the self that has taken in so much yuckiness in the world, so much difficulty, so much negativity, gets so used to that, and unfortunately so accustomed to it, so acclimated to it, and is surrounded by so many more people who experience that, and that's normalized, and it's just like that's what it is. That's and the people go, well, this is life. What are you talking about? This is life, because it's so normalized. And the amount of people that are able to just keep doing better and better and better things for themselves are where that is normalized. And then I think really, we're doing both sets of stuff, right? Because we're doing stuff to make things better, and then we're doing stuff to make them worse at the same time. And again, my sense is that the amount of things we are doing that is in pain, like say you're doing all kinds of good stuff that you want to improve things, but you're doing it in pain, and then you're simultaneously taking in pain from other people. I think ultimately people then get saturated with that pain. So even those who are just completely determined, ambitious, committed, and just obsessed with making things better, they just get ultimately saturated with that which is around them. They get saturated with it because so many people are in such a low frequency that that's what comes into their reality. That gets, again, they get immersed in it. That gets saturated into everybody. And then even though there's a simultaneous striving to try to make everything better, the feedback loop has so much negativity in it that even the real self that is trying so like feverishly, like just in on every level, again, obsessively to make things better, is just like if you live in this world, you just can't help it. You are literally saturated with pain. You are saturated with it all around you. You're saturated from people you know. And let's face it, we're saturated because the entire system of media is pumping in all the time to our overall container the pain, the drama, the struggle, the strife, reporting on that, pumping that in, putting it into us like an IV. And all along, while we are literally running the frickin' marathon, to make things better. Sorry, while we're running the marathon to, let me make sure I've said this okay. So while we're running the marathon to make things better, our whole system is pumping this in from everywhere. And now we have all these other channels, the social media channels. So it's coming in from everywhere. And the amount of pain and negativity and destructive things is being put into our atmosphere on such a disproportionate level that our little, mere mortal that we are attempt to meet our goals, to make things better, to be the person we want to be and want to be for everybody is coming up against that. That's what's saturating our whole environment. So I'm glad that we've looked at this today, because otherwise people would beat themselves up for being people that beat themselves up, rather than going, you know what? I'm getting pummeled all the time with every bit of negative news input from everywhere. So it makes sense that I would be trying to improve myself while simultaneously hurting myself. And my sense, and as I look further at this contemplation today, it's that the more that we've had social media, the more that we have now thousands of channels And yet, if we add in the YouTube and all the other YouTube-like things out there, platforms, we now have millions of channels reporting to us, giving us input, coming into the atmosphere and making the atmosphere and what the atmosphere is. And so my sense is the amount of painful, negative, dramatic news and news about destructiveness is so much more, it's saturated us so much more than ever in human history, that this is why we would have simultaneously the most ambitious population we've ever had, with the most people doing things to hurt themselves and hurt each other. So that's an orientation. And if we orient to where that fire hose of negative stuff is coming in, then we will take in more energy that would work against us and injure us while you're putting all of this energy, money, time, blood, sweat, and tears into making yourself better. And we don't want to go crazy on that hamster wheel of trying to make ourselves better, but then putting ourselves in connection with that fire hose of constant info that is designed to lower your frequency in order to get you to buy things and control you and subdue you as they do to the masses to prevent revolution and uprising. If you put yourself up to that fire hose and drink from it and listen to it and let your friends tell you about it and watch it and seek it, and all the ways, which are the ways in which the whole system is injuring you, impacting you, and countering your very life force of moving forward and moving upward, while requiring you to do so and to be the most productive person you've ever been, that anyone's ever been. That's what's demanded of us now. You can just see the craziness of this. So that orientation to taking that in from anywhere is something that you can shift. One of the things that I've done and that we have our clients do at my transformation company is we have them reorient to something else. And you want to reorient to something that you actually want to move forward to. Because right now, you're oriented to where a stream or multiple streams of negative energy and unproductive and destructive energies coming in. Ooh. So we want to orient. Some might say, well, can I not watch all that? Can I not look at social media? Can I not have conversations? I'm just speaking about the physical physics, the laws of physics and the principles of reality, which are whatever we are present to, we will become immersed in. It will make more of itself. We will become one with it. That's how it is. And this would be why your higher self is always trying to make the upgrade. But that when you're given low frequency reality and it's just freaking streamed into you, it will lower your frequency. And then your lower self, or what's referred to as your not self, or what some refer to as your shadow self, it will then start to take over and start to lead, because it gets all kinds of energy from the low frequency reality. It gets, let me just say this, it goes It takes you all the way down into the worst of reality. It takes you into the under reality, the underworld, a lower realm of reality, a very painful realm of reality. So I invite you all to reorient to what you want to experience and go completely and fully into that on such a committed level that, again, you become one with it. This is where the all in, obsessive, immersive saturation of the reality that you actually intend is the only thing that makes sense when you understand physics. And this is why in our transformation programs, we literally have a process and a mechanism that immerses our clients into their ideal reality of their choice and maintains them in it consistently so that orientation can occur. Because you can't make a new reality that you want by being oriented to the one that you're in. So choose what you want to orient to and begin to become completely immersed in it. There's all kinds of ways that you can do that. And if you want help, you can click the link that I've got here in the video and book a time and talk to me, and we can talk about how you can make this kind of reorientation to your higher intentions. And this is going to be a game changer. So I would really invite each of you to go into the video or the comments for the video and really write, what's your intention? What are you orienting to? It might be a role, might be a company, might be a experience, a feeling, might be a concept, a project, or a world of your choosing. Because you get to choose, because reality is quite simply and only and totally and completely what we are programmed for. And if we are programmed for what we really want and what our higher self intends, then we will orient to that reality. It will come to us. We will be drawn to it. We will evolve from the people that we have been connected with and evolve into the reality of those that are also aligned with the reality of our intentions. And we orient to that. We start to connect with that and them through the immersion process. And then it's like you're in this world together and it's almost like nothing else exists. And the more you go into it and the more you go into it and the more you live in that reality and align with other people who completely agree with and want that reality. Could be whatever, peace, harmony, happiness, gladness, fabulousness, and wiener dogs, whatever you want in there. So you align with people that are into that world. You get into that world. Eventually that becomes your world. Now you have officially reprogrammed your reality into the world you want to be in. Because you don't have to be in worlds with any situations or any people that you don't want to be in reality with. Because you don't agree with that reality hurts you, it doesn't feel good, and you want to be in the reality you intend. Good news is it's all available. Good news is any reality you want, you can be programmed to, because even just the way that you see the world right now and what you think it is and what you think is available and what's there and what's not there is completely a function of your programming, which is a function of the people that you're with and their programming, and a function of the fact that you're in this current world and this is a reality you inhabit and how you experience it. You're in the world with people who also have that reality. And then you think other things aren't there, but the reality is it's just because you're oriented to the reality you're in, and your invitation is to be oriented to the reality you intend, knowing that all of reality that exists, ever exists, is a function of our programming, and that we have free will to program ourselves. So, choose what you want to program yourself for by choosing what you want to orient to, by choosing your higher intentions and completely orienting to them. And that will make it so that more and more and more of what you do and how you are aligns with how much you want to create a certain reality. And the percentage of like countering that, hurting yourself, injuring yourself, negating the reality you want will be replaced, and then the proportions will be to where you get to where this reality that you want is in its entirety. Okay. Really happy we did this upgrade today. This is a pretty big level of reality to consider. It's a lot of fun to be able to bring through this kind of reality training and understanding the making of reality and how that is and how we all are reality makers. I'm really glad everybody's able to get this upgrade, start to awaken, make this shift, receive the upgrade that this contemplation is, this this examination of these patterns, this evaluation of these patterns. And now we have another level of awakening. So I'm excited for you all to type into the comments what you want to orient to, what your intentions are, because that is another step on the path to orienting to them and achieving them and being there with them, being fully one with them. All right, everyone. Great job on this upgrade. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye bye.